Hello and welcome back to another final table commentary. Today we got a 5K PKO from WCOOP 2025. Got Centaurus on the final table with this big ass stack, 120 blinds, first place position, Lena to their left. Got pads with another big stack, Proud Flop, Flare Hoove, Stone Dream, who's going to start things off with the King and the Jack with the open. Got Team Poker BR, Internet 930, and F Guinness. 10-7 in the big blind, getting a good price with the shit holding. They'll let that one go. Everybody's got $5,700 locked up. 8th place gets $6,400. $8,500 for 7th. $11,000 and a little bit more. For 6th place, $15,000 for 5th. 4th place gets just over 20 grand. $27,000 for 3rd place. First place and second get $42,000, and everybody gets bounties on top of that. Top pair for Stone Dream goes for a value bet, gets called by the Ace 3, a spades, backdoor, straight draw, backdoor, flush draw, an overcard. We get the 9 of diamonds on the turn. Stone Dream might go for another value bet just to clean up. We don't have to go big, right? Oh, we can just go to the river for free, says Stone Dream. Our opponent has Ace 3 high, dude. Let's go to the river for free, give him a chance to bluff. Probably not ace high. It's a sliver of showdown value. Probably not, though, losing to some other ace highs. Internet 930 will read into that, go for the bluff. Quickly gets called by top pair. Stone Dream takes out a nice pot. 76 blinds for them. Thanks to KalipokerTV Poker Replays for the replay. If at any point in time you find yourself not giving a shit for the commentary, excuse me, there'll be a link in the description down below to the video. Kali Poker. So you can go check out some more poker action in silence. Stone Dream with another king high, king queen this time. We'll open it on up. From the hijack it looks like Centaurus in the big blind with a 5 and a 4. So many chips, dude. Let's see, a flop. King 10, 6. 3 in a row for Centaurus. 5 high, not quite what we're looking for. Another top pair for Stone Dream. Looks like another small bet and probably just take down the pot here unless Centaurus wants to get spicy and go for a check raise. No backdoor flush draw though, so we're probably just letting 5 high go. I see a couple of kings and 10-10 for Proud Flop. Team Poker potentially the beneficiary of a big cooler in their favor here. Ace 6 suited for Stone Dream. Probably not going to 3-bet in this situation. They do just let it go. Ace 6 is no Ace 5, let me tell you. Team Poker goes for this big ass 3-bet 12 blinds, committing themselves all the way to the pot, leaving 10 behind for some reason. If we're being honest, I don't quite understand the sizing, but we'll trust Team Poker here. 10-10's going to get it in, of course, for a 4K bounty. Looking for a 10. We got backdoor straight draws. Nothing on the 9 of spades turn. Deuce on the river is clean for the kings. Team Poker is the beneficiary of a big cooler in their favor. 46 blinds. Sitting pretty now. Proud Flop's got that big ass bounty, $5,300 on their head. One of the biggest on the table? No. Guess everybody's got big bounties, but Proud Flop still got that big bounty with 22 blinds. And they got an ace and a queen in the big. Centaurus with 9-10 suited. I don't know if... Okay, we're going to get the open from 9-10. Proud Flop probably rips the big blind ace queen. I don't know if Centaurus goes bounty hunting here. It's enticing, but it's kind of a shitty spot. We'll see if Proud Flop goes for a non-all-in 3-bet. Could make things spicy here. Nah, 22 blinds. We do just rip. We'll see if Centaurus wants to put another 20 more blinds in the middle for 5K. I don't know if it's worth it in this situation. We do have 41%, so if we call, we do have the equity, I guess. Centaurus is deep in the tank. There's even some like 8-8. What about 7s, dude? Yikes. Probably not as much. You block 9s and 10s. Jack might yoink it in. We do get the call by 9-10. Ace high board though. 8 on the turn. No 7 or queen. Straight draw does not get there. Top pair will hold up. Proud Flop right back up to that big stack. 45 blinds. Was an interesting spot for Centaurus, turning all the equity in the... Not really, just a straight draw, but open-ender. But considering it was an ace-high board, Centaurus found a good turn, did not get there on the river. They're still in first place, right, with 98 blinds, so it's kind of interesting. They just took the spot. Ace-6 suited for internet will come in for the open. Pads with 7-7 calls from the button. Get a 6-5-3 flop. 1 club for internet. Top pair, top kicker. Pads will go for a little bit less than a half pot size bet. Looks to be about 40-ish percent. Get a clean 3 of spades on the turn. Both players like that card. Pads with the straight draw to the 4 to boot with the overpair. Sweating aces and 6s, 12 blinds in the middle. Feels like we have to bet again. 8.5 is the size. Internet is in a pickle. This says there's a lot of 7s, 8s, 9s. Maybe even 10s for pads. King on the river, I would presume, goes check, check. 29 blinds will slide over to pads. Bad start for internet, but kind of a shitty situation for him there. Proud flop wakes up with aces. Doesn't look like there's much else going on. Centaurus will fold the e6. 10-5 suited. Pads does come in for the open. Facing a 3-bet though, will quickly fold. Was kind of an interesting spot for a proud flop with the aces. Like, what size do we want to go? 7.2 is the elected size. Typically you see smaller 3-bets on the final table, but facing one of the big stacks, maybe you just go for kind of a standard-ish size. Looks to be about 3.5x in position. Or sorry, was that... No, that was in position with the ace-ace. That just seems standard. Doesn't go too big, doesn't go too small. Internet with the ace-jack will open under the gun. Gets a call by 7-7. Ace-9, 3 flop. Internet c-bets. And they go quite big too. It's about 40% again. Interesting sizings here. 7s find a call. Another ace on the turn. 3 of a kind for internet. Team Poker might think that's a good card, I guess. Some players do just find the fold when the 3 of a kind comes in on the turn. Internet will go for a hefty bet here. Because it's like you don't expect King Queen to just continue betting. Like a lot of C bets slow down, right? Nice fold by Team Poker there. It is kind of an interesting spot where you think they have got less ace-x when there's an ace on the turn. But in reality, their betting range just changes. Where I'm sure Internet's still going to have bluffs there, but anyways, we're just going to move along after a nice fold. King Jack, proud flop will open it on up. Internet with King 6-0 in the big will find the call on a 10-8 5 flop. Backdoor clubs, backdoor straight draw for Internet. Gets a free turn, the Queen of Hearts. Doesn't give him any help. Just looking for a 6. Proud flop with the open ender might go for a bet ski. Probably just take the pot down on the turn here. We can go pretty big. Proud flop actually goes small. Interesting shit. And again, it's about 40%. A lot of 40% bets here on the final table to start things off. Not much doing here. Efkiness with a king and a queen in the big blind. Do we get a walk? Internet covers us with 9-3. Their name is Internet 930. There's no way they fold 930 in the small here. They limp it on in. King, queen, Efkiness. They raised to 3.5 blinds. And Internet 930 folds 930. I was expecting a lot more action there with that holding. Ace 10 suited for pads. Stone Dream. Oh, look at Flair Hoove with ace 10 suited. 12 blinds. Haven't heard from them yet. Stone Dream will probably let go of their ace 10. Flair Hoove, I imagine, rips it in here. 12 blinds. We've been silent. Pads is a big stack. You gotta have a whole lot of bullshit here. It isn't under the gun +1 open, so maybe there's less bullshit. Flare Hoove is in the tank. Ace 10 is no Ace Jack or Ace Queen, let me tell you. Flare Hoove does just let go of Ace 10 suited. Preserves the 12 blinds. 7-6 suited for Centaurus in the big looks like a call. No reason to 3-bet pads here. Who's in first place? And that Centaurus call with a 9-10 suited earlier does come back to bite him in this sort of situation. Where it wouldn't be 20 blinds still, but you'd still be covering pads. Anyways, we get an 8-3-2 flop. Pretty boring shit. 3 in a row for Centaurus. We'll just get the hell out of there. Now we got some interesting holdings here. Ace Jack for proud flop season. Under the gun open. Ace Queen suited for pads. Ace Queen suited for Centaurus in the small. King Jack suited for Lena in the big is going to be an afterthought. We might just see a call here from proud flop that we do. Centaurus with the Ace Queen suited. Do we just call the small and then Lena gets a great price to come along to the flop actually just with the shittest holding? Your spades are dominated. Your jack is dominated. You're looking for a king or some straight help here. But it'll be one blind into like 9. But Centaurus could just 3-bet the Ace Queen suited, so maybe we don't see that. 10 blinds to go from Centaurus. Now pads is in the pickle here with the under the gun open Ace Queen suited. Strong ass holding, but you're actually really behind what Centaurus is 3-betting, or you're way ahead. It's like King Queen suited. Probably not too much Ace X there like Centaurus. Man, some of it's just getting a great place to come along to the flop. Like Ace 5 suited might be shying away from a 3-bet. I don't know, man. Centaurus takes the spot with Ace Queen. They take the pot down with a 10 blind 3-bet. Ace Queen for Lena. They'll rip it all in for 12 blinds facing Team Poker's open with Ace Jack. Oh, we'll see if they find the call that they do. Looking for a jack here, dealer. 8 or a 3 for a chop pot. No, we get a queen on the river. 25 blinds for Lena. Jack 10 for Efkinus. They'll just pass on the spot here. Not too appealing. They do cover Lena and Proud Flop in the big blind there, but Jack 10-0 hits the muck and Proud Flop just gets a walk. I have seen Efkinus play a few times, but I'm not too familiar with their game compared to everybody else here on the final table. So it would be kind of cool to see them pick up a big stack. See what they can do. Queen 10 for Centaurus. They'll come in for the open. 2.1 blinds is their size. Pads with Queen Jack suited on the button. Kind of likes a call here, right? We don't really want a 3-bet even though we got the big stack and we're in position. Queen high board. Both players with top pair. Pads with the best kicker. Kind of a good situation here with Queen Jack. Centaurus will check it on over. We shouldn't see too huge of a pot, but we will get some chips in the middle here at some point. Clean 2 on the turn after the flop goes check check. Both players kind of pot controlling here. They both understand they've got a fair holding, not the nuts. And again, they really don't want to get blown off at any point. 3 on the river. I don't think this goes check check. Centaurus might go for another value bet. Ace 4 and 6-4. 6-4 is not there. Ace 4 is certainly there though. Centaurus goes for a hefty bet, about 10 blinds. Quick call by pads, and they'll take the pot down. If we're being honest, like Centaurus is probably at the bottom of their value betting range there. Queen 10-0. Anyways, they see the bad news. Lose fair pot to pads, who might be in some trouble here. Ace 6 suited for Efkinus. I love the open. Pads will come in for... Whoa! Ace 4 suited. Centaurus 3-bets. Pads will 4-bet. King on the button. Whoa! Pads calls the Ace King. Ace King just calls from the cutoff. No way we don't... Do we just jam 45 blinds? What the fuck do we do with kings? I would go in the tank here and cry. You never fold. That's just pussy ass shit. That's stupid. The sizing is just so difficult to find here. Do you want to go for a non-all-in 4-bet? Kind of. 18 blinds? Man, that's so spicy. Proud flop goes all the way in, dude. Just says all of it. Does pads call here? We got 2 aces dead. That's bad news. Backdoor, sorry, not backdoor. We got a diamond drawing and heart draw. Ace king does not like this, dude. 45 blinds. We do get the call. We got 1 ace we're looking for. Backdoor straight draw don't matter. King on the turn locks up the board for proud flop. Spicy spot for pads. What a huge cooler in proud flop's favor. 100 blinds, first place position. Disgusting. Efkiness with aces, however, will come in for the open the next hand. Stone Dream with the suited king. Could always 3-bet. Probably not, though. Ace 6 suited in the big. Probably just calls and sees a flop. Oof. Ace king there. I was wondering if we 4-bet. Ah, man, we're probably just getting it in, right? Like, if we 4-bet to, like, 15 blinds, proud flop rips for 45. Did we call another 30 with ace king? Oof, cold 5-bet all in. That's so spicy, dude. I don't know. 9-9 for pads. Hopefully they can get a few pennies back here. The aces didn't get too many in the previous holding there. Doesn't look like much, actually. Jack 4 in the big will just fold. Pads is still sitting pretty. Second place position. Got Centaurus and Stone Dream right on their ass, but for the time being, pads covers them still. Jack 3 suited. Proud flop comes in for the very aggressive open. Internet with ace 10 in the small is in a weird spot. Do we 3-bet here? We do just call from the small. Efkiness getting a great price with the suited connected 9-8 of spades. I imagine we come along to the flop with a call. King 7-6 flop, open ender. Efkiness with the backdoor flush draw to boot. Gets a free 9 on the turn. Making the best holding here. Internet with 2 overs to the 9 and a straight draw to the 8, but the 10 doesn't work. So 1 over. Ace or 8 for internet. They see a hefty bet here on the turn, about 5 blinds. I don't even know if we pay this one off. Efkiness gets sees the flop check around. Internet checks on the turn. Efkiness says my pair of 9s is probably best. I got a straight draw to go along with it. And we get aces the next hand after we took down that pot. And Team Poker's got Jack with 1 Jack dead. Queen 7 suited. Proud flop comes in for the open. 3-bet all in by Jack here. 4K bounty on the line. Diamonds are no good. Team Poker's going to need some hearts or the 1 remaining Jack. If it's even in play still. Ace 53 blinds from the small. Loving life here. Hard not just to rip it in. You might want to play call, but it looks like aces. Efkiness does find the call. We're looking for a Jack, dude. We do not get it, of course. 43 blinds. That's a 4K bounty for Efkiness. So like I was saying earlier, I wanted to see them pick up some chips. This time around, they're a big beneficiary of a big cooler. They're in second place now with a big bounty on their head. Stone Dream with a couple of kings sees a proud flop open. Queen 10 suited. Sees a big 3-bet 8 blinds here. Internet with a couple of 4s. We'll get the fuck out of the way. Queen 10 of hearts, man. You like the holding when you open it up. You don't really want to get 3-bet here, I don't think. Not a 4-betting hand, that's for sure. I suppose you can call. Probably not, though. Proud flop does cover him, and there's a $5,700 bounty on the line, but we do let Queen 10 of hearts go. It's so pretty, but you just fold. Ace queen suited for internet will come in for the open. King jack for Efkiness. One seat to their left. Could always 3-bet. 6K bounty on internet's head. Efkiness is thinking about it. Oh shit, they just find the fold. I suppose good timing with the fold, but it would have been fun to see a 3-bet. Like, does internet just call ace queen suited there? Do we 4-bet small? What do we do with ace queen suited facing a 3-bet? Tough spot, just because we're so deep, you know, 44 blinds. Got flare hoove on 9. I don't think we got to worry about ladders too much. We're playing for chips. Efkiness covers us. Difficult spot with ace queen. Because it's obviously a strong hand. You just don't want to go broke with a big cooler. King 9 suited, Centaurus will come in for the open. King 10 suited for Elena, 1 seat over from the cutoff. We'll 3-bet small, 5.5. Proud flop with a couple 7s in the small. Difficult spot again. Probably lets her go. Oof. I don't think we want to 4-bet. We do 4-bet to 12 blinds. Does Lena just let it go? That they do. 7-7 will take it down. Pretty nice play by Proud Flop. And they get rewarded with a couple of aces. King 9 of hearts once again for Centaurus, I would imagine, comes in for the open. Things could actually get real bad here for Centaurus, as Proud Flop's going to 3-bet, of course. Centaurus kind of has a 4-betting hand. You're going to call the 3-bet. Maybe it's just a fold. See what size aces go. 6.3. I guess we're playing so deep, so it's just a reasonable size. And King 9 does just hit the muck. Centaurus says, fuck it, we're not going to blow up a 60 blind stack on the final table here. 8-8 will come in for the open. 5-5 for pads. Efkiness is under the gun open. Proud flop with another strong ace king of spades. Let's see what size he goes here. I guess about 8. 8.5 maybe. 9. A full 9 blinds. 7 a call for the 2 pocket pairs. I wonder if we just let this go. Proud flop's obviously 3-betting quite a bit. We saw they had a couple strong hands, and I think they do get after it quite a bit. 7 blinds to call is difficult, though. Efkiness will let go of the 8s, and 5s follow suit and hit the muck as well. Another ace king suited. Queen queen for Stone Dream. We got a big situation brewing here. Flare hoove with 7 blinds. We'll let go of 7 high. Queen queen from the button here. Just calls. Just calls pre-flop. Internet will get the hell out of the way. 9-10-0 for Efkiness in the big. We're playing super deep, and we cover Stone Dream for a $5,700 bounty. 9-10 might call. Ace high board, not too spicy. Proud flop will go for a C bet, probably small. If I'm queens, I call 1. We'll bang off a queen on the turn. How about it? 3rd pot size looks reasonable. 2.5 blinds. Let's see a turn card dealer. 9-10, of course, it's the muck. 4 of spades on the turn. Not too interesting. Queen of spades in our holding. We don't love it. To be fair, Proud Flop's opening a fuck ton. We slow played the queens pre. We get a big bet by ace king. Hefty value bet. 9 blinds to go. And again, we block spade draws. We've seen Proud Flop open like queen 7 suited. I think there was even a worse one than that. Queens find the call again. Deuce on the river. A 1-liner to a 3. Spade draw bricks. 30 blinds in the middle. Does it go check check? Proud Flop can go for a thin value bet because Stone Dream shouldn't have too much 3x here. Maybe ace 3 suited, but other than that, 3-3, does it call a flop bet? Does it even call the pre-flop bet? Probably not. You're looking at ace 3 or nothing. I guess worse ace-x, obviously. And some pocket pairs. Queen swiftly hits the muck. Proud flop does take down a nice pot. It was about 30 blinds. Stone Dream with the king 10 suited right back in there. After the unfortunate situation with the queen and the queen, Centaurus with 10-9-0 in the big blind, covering for the bounty. Probably calls and sees a flop here. Unfortunate situation, just looking for a 9. Also could make a straight or whatever. Jack 6-3 board. 10-9-0. 3 in a row. Not quite check raising properties, not quite calling properties. Probably just folding. King 10 c-bets. A check raise is super cool though. So if Centaurus finds it. No. What's going on here? Elena with ace 3 suited in the big. Stone Dream with queen 9 might open. They say no. Might just fold the Centaurus here with king 2 in the small, who could always rip, but king 2 is my least favorite hand. King 2 offsuit makes it even worse. We'll see what Centaurus thinks about the king and the 2 anyways. We could just rip. Elena with ace 3, about 16.5 blinds, or exactly 16.5 blinds I should say. Snap calls 67%. We're looking for kings and 2s. We find a 2 on the turn. Nasty shit. Another 2 on the river. Centaurus gets there. $2,500 bounty. Everybody gets a ladder. 34 blinds. Slide over to Centaurus. King 2 rips it in. Takes it down. Good shit for Centaurus fans. We're down to 7 players. Everybody's got $8,500 locked up. Stone Dream with a 10 and a 10. You open it up. King 8 suited calls the big blind. Ace Queen 5 flop. Stupid spot for 10s. We probably c-bet, hoping to take the pot down. Stone Dream goes for a big c-bet there. It was about 3.25 blinds. King Jack comes in for the open. Ace 5-0 for Efkiness. Hopefully just gets the hell out of there. Centaurus with ace 9. Shouldn't think too much about this one. King for pads, obviously. On the button here. We're going to come in for a 3-bet. And I think pads like small 3-bets. Whoa, we call kings? We cover him for the bounty. Pads just calls. 7-4-3 flop. Stone Dream with the backdoor spade draw. King high. Check folds. Not too spicy of a spot here. And had pads 3-bet pre. They just take the pot down. But it's kind of just interesting to see. They also just played call with the ace king earlier. And then ended up calling the 4-bet all in. It was just interesting stuff here. Pads is obviously a wizard, knows what he's doing, but what I'm saying is it's just interesting. It just makes you think about, we got to flip. 4-4 for Flair Who's Life. We get a jack on the flop, straight for proud flop. No chop pot. Flair Hoove is out of here. They did get a couple of ladders. Made just under $3,000 for hanging out patiently. But what I'm saying about pads is we got aces for Stone Dream. So the call with the ace king earlier, I presume, is you don't really want to play a huge ass pot with Centaurus as he 3-bet. So you want to keep the pot a little bit smaller. You call, you just end up calling proud flops rip because you got ace king, I suppose. It's a strong ass holding. It just sucks your opponent opened an ace and then the 3-bet came with a suited ace as well. Ace 5 flops fucking well, so I'm going to have to stop thinking about pads' situation. Although it's just, I want to talk more about it. We got aces versus ace 5 bottom pair with a nut flush draw. Stone Dream wisely checks back the flop. 6 on the turn, pairs the board. Efkiness looking for a spade or 5. Stone Dream will go for a little bit more than a half pot bet on the turn. Ace-5 at least has to call here. We cover him for the bounty. 9 on the river. Not a spade, of course. Aces probably have another value bet here. Ace-5 of spades has some check raising properties. Blocking boats, blocking the nut flush. Aces do bet 8 blinds. Something tells me check raise right here. Check back on the flop. There's a little bit less than a half pot size bet on the turn. Big bet on the river. You block a bunch of shit. Efkin is deep in the tank. They also have a fair reason to call. It's a button open. There's plenty of just single spade holdings. You just gotta hope your opponent finds the bet with them. But Efkin in the end correctly just folds ace-5. When I thought things were gonna get spicy. Centaurus with queens. I don't know if I get to talk about pads yet. But like, look at their situation really quick. They're 6-handed. They got 53 blinds. They didn't want to play huge ass pots so they could get to this situation. 6-handed. They got an opportunity to pick up a big stack. Play some good poker. Win some bounties. Scoop some $40,000 plus the bounties on top of it. We'll see how Queen proceeds in the big blind with the proud flop open, playing about 60 blinds deep here. 9 1/4 blinds is the 3-bet. Should just get through pre-ace-5-0. Almost a 4-betting hand, but proud flop is wise and says, I'm going to move along. And remember that, I think it was, proud flop had like ace-queen, I think, who ripped. Centaurus with the 9-10 suited call with 40-some%. Proud flop now in first place. Remember back to that hand. Oh, how things could have been so different. Ace-3 suited, proud flop opens. Ace-queen for internet will open, or sorry, 3-bet. Fuck me. 3-bet the open. Take the pot down as proud flop could have 4-bet ripped the suited ace-x, but again wisely moves along. Ace-jack for Efkin. They come in for the open from the cutoff. Pads with ace-3 in the small. I don't think a call's coming in. I was worried about a 3-bet, but if we're being honest, pads again is just gonna look for good spots. Some players call it tight. I call it fucking reasonable, dude. Although I would have 3-bet the kings pre-flop. I kind of understand the cold call with the ace-king facing the 3-bet. The king-king versus stone dreams open, I would have 3-bet for sure, though. Anyways, we'll just move on along and enjoy the good cards. Ace-6 for pads on the button. We're just going to find the fold here. Ace-6 on the button could have been an open. 10-3 for proud flop. We'll just raise and take it down pre from the small blind. Ace-4 suited for stone dream. And the small, gonna limp it on in, covering internet in the big blind. Queen 5-0. Queen 5-0 checks it on back in an ace-high board. 2 pairs even, top and bottom stone dream. We'll check it on over. Hoping his opponent has some sort of equity. Maybe a 7. Straight draw on the turn here. It's kind of interesting. Open ender. 3 or an 8 and internet will take down the pot after stone dream flops so well here. They bet about 2 blinds. Not easy for the 5 to hang in there facing the big bet. Obviously there's some dirty cards, such as a queen on the river. Front door flush got there. Personally, in a limp pot, I am so curious, I always call. Internet as well says, I got the straight blocker, I got a pair. Let's see what you got, Stone Dream. And he shows him 2 pairs. That was a nice one for Stone Dream. They're up to 57 blinds. Now they're covering pads, Efginus as well. Centaurus with Ace Jack will open under the gun and just take the pot down pre. So 26 blinds for a short stack. That's plenty to play with. Internet with King 5 on the button. Gonna see an open from 4-4. King 5 just hits the muck, I do believe. 3 bets are awesome though. No. King 6 suited. We'll think about it even longer. Efginus with King 2 suited in the small. Tough to play. Probably just let it go. Centaurus with 8-10 in the big blind could find a call. Unless Efginus is thinking 3-bet here. They find it. King 2 suited. 8.5 blinds to go. 6-handed Stone Dream is in a tough spot with the small pocket pair here. We do find the call. Not flush draw though. Ace high board. Efginus likely bets and takes the pot down here. 18, 19 blinds in the middle. We'll see what size Efginus goes. 4.7. Personally, I like a 10% pot bet, but 10% pot bet, but it wouldn't work here, I don't think. 4-4 finds the call. Efginus makes the nuts on the river. Even has a royal flush draw. 4-4 is stone dead. That was a stupid one. Sorry for the stupid comment there. Efginus will check over the nuts, play it nice and sneakily. Stone Dream realizes they... No, I won't say it again. But they're drawing dead, that's for sure. 4-4 with 44 blinds behind. Wisely checks a 4 on the river. It's a diamond though. So there's 4 diamonds. Stone Dream does beat some hands. Not much though. Not much that would bet the river. So, you know, Ace Queen doesn't bet the river. Ace 10 won't bet the river. Aces, do they even bet the river? It's kind of like bluffs and then like King X of diamonds. Remember, we got a 3-bet pot pre. Tough spot for 4-4 on the river here. It's about a half pot size bet. 13 into 28. Just a little bit less than half pot. 4-4. Stone Dream does find the call with the set. Nasty river there. Tough spot for Stone Dream. Gotta say, I like the call pre-flop. Obviously, our opponent 3-bet King 2 suited. 4-4. Looking pretty against that, I suppose. Although it's going to be difficult to play post-flop. Our opponent makes the nuts on the turn, checks and gives us a free river, and we make a set. Obviously, there's 4 diamonds. Our opponent still has bluffs, though. Stone Dream pays it off, sees bad news. Ace 6 for Efginus right back in there after taking down the nice pot. Pads, however, with top pair and the straight draw to the 8. Not too much doing here for Efginus. A little bit of backdoor equity. Finds a king on the turn. A fair card to bet. Ace high has a sliver of showdown value, but probably not. Probably not. There's a lot of straight draws. It's going to be hard to get anything to fold, but we bang off an ace on the river as the front door flush draw gets there. Efginus running good, playing good. Not like they put any bets in bad here. Go for a little river value, although it's hard to get paid by worse. They will just show down the ace and take it on down. It's kind of interesting to show down the ace. If we're being honest, I don't think pads is going to do too much check raise bluffs in that situation, although I have seen pads go for some big bluffs on rivers. So they're certainly capable of it. I just don't think they're going to pull the trigger often enough for us to be afraid to value bet an ace on the river. Ace King for internet off the short stack comes in for the open. They do go for a bigger size, 2.5 blinds. Centaurus with 3-3. Ace Jack for pads in the small. Hopefully doesn't 3-bet here. They even just let it go pre. They say, fuck it, we're going to fold. Fold from the small blind. Proud flop with Queen 9 in the big blind is a chance to come along to the flop. Covering both players here. They say, fuck it, we're not coming. King 9 4 flop. Top pair, top kicker for internet on a interesting board. There's some straight draws and flush draws, obviously. They check it on over, hoping a small pocket pair such as threes go for a bluff. Centaurus probably just checks it back, right? Yeah, we go to the turn for free. 8 of hearts. Nobody really gives a shit about that card there. Although there's more flush draws. Internet blocks that. We're going to go for a value bet probably. Interesting sizing choice. Internet says go pot even a little bit more. I was wondering, do we size up the river jam? Internet just says pot it, dude. Alright. Whoops! Just trying to skip forward here, dude. Let's get some cards going. There we go. Centaurus comes back to a pretty king, ace 9-0 for internet. Queen jack for pads on the button. Internet's taking an extra long break here. Got 140 seconds. Nope, we just let that one go swiftly. So king opens. Queen jack might call the button. No. Stone Dream in the big blind with 9-3 suited. Our newfound shorty, 29.5 blinds. Gets queen. Efkiness with 9-9. Proud flop with 8-8. Interesting. Efkiness will open under the gun. If I'm proud flop, I just call. We are playing about 85 blinds deep here with Efkiness. 8's call. Stone Dream, 29 blinds. We'll 3-bet to 9, 8.5. There's an interesting spot here. I don't know if we want to rip. Do we? We do just want to rip. Stone Dream says yoink it in. Got a $57, almost $5,600, no wait, $5,800 bounty on her head. Efkiness with 9s is going to be tempted. Won't really want to put their life on the line here. There's actually a lot of ace, king, and 10s plus. But then aces and kings probably 3-bet small. So 10s through queens. Probably not 8s or 7s. Proud flop says hopefully it's ace, king, 9 on the flop. 8 on the river, bang, bang. Queens are no good. Efkiness would have made a boat. Sees the horrific news in what could have been like 180 blind pot. Anybody else felt it? Yeah, oof, I felt that 8 on the river. But what I'm feeling even more is the 9-9 fold. You're like, you see the queens and you're like, fuck yeah, good fold, man. 9 on the flop. Oh no, oh no, 8 on the river would have been boat over boat for 190 blinds plus a $5,700 bounty on a 5K final table with 42 grand up top with all the bounties included. That's what I feel. 9-3 suited here for proud flop. See a spade on the turn. Internet with king queen on the button finds the call pre-flop. Tough to hang in there, and we do find a spade on the turn. It's a little 4, bringing in a straight draw for proud flop and a flush draw for both players. Proud flop could price king queen out of the pot somehow. 7.5 blinds. It's spicy. King queen's still the best hand. I still feel the fold for 9-9. Anyways, we're going to move along. Queen on the river. Internet should be good here. 9 high. Probably bluffs the river. King, queen making a pair. The flush draw. Front door flush draw gets there, obviously. 30 blinds in the middle. 15 behind. 9 high checks. King, queen gets showdown. I don't know if we want to bet here. We could try to get called by like jacks through 7s. Queen jack? What? Queen jack bluffs. Hard to get called here by worse in internet shoes. Do aces check the river? Internet says we're gonna find out what he's got. 9 high will obviously hit the muck. I'm just wondering what the fuck does King Queen get called by here? You imagine Proud Flop just sticks in a call? No, he's got 115 seconds. He's gonna think this one out. He says I've got 9 high. There's nothing I can change about that. 5-4 suited will come in for the open Internet with another strong pair. Or sorry, another strong holding. 10-10, this time a pair. It coming for a 3-bet to 8 blinds. Surely we'll just take the pot down here as Proud Flop does. Has plenty of chips. Suited and connected holding. Didn't really want to see a big 3-bet here play out of position. We aren't even that deep with Internet. Ooh, Proud Flop finds the call. 10 high board, 2 hearts, bottom pair for Proud Flop. Lots going on here. Top set for Internet. Do we ever give him a free card on such a wet board? 10-10 loves a check. Not on this board though. Internet will bet surely. Oh, we check and the heart bangs off on the turn. Jack 9 also makes a straight. Internet does check. There's a world where Internet can get away from this one maybe if another heart comes on the river, but then the 5 of hearts probably doesn't value bet the river. Proud Flop will bet here. Size up a river jam. They go 9 blinds, about half, no, exactly half pot. Set of 10s has to call. Looking to boat up on the river. And there's so many bluffs here in Proud Flop shoes. They just so happen to make the flush. King of clubs. Proud Flop rips. Internet loses. No way Proud Flop checks the flush here. Just a big cooler. Ace Jack gets there. Jack 9 got there. Hearts get there. Maybe Internet? No. They just snap call. 10s is way too good there. We've seen what Proud Flop's playing. They're running like God. They got 170 blinds. They avoid boat over boat. Like, just no worries for Proud Flop. Ace 6 in the big blind. They win the big pot with the Ace Queen versus 10-9 suited early on, and they fucking just go on a heater. Scoop all the bounties here. 170 blinds. Ace 6 in the big limp pot. 8-7 checks it on over on the 5-2-2 flop. This will just go check bet fold, and we're moving along, I do presume. Five for Centaurus. Ace King again for pads. 4-handed in last place position. Probably gonna 3-bet. 7.5 blinds. Ace 3 in the big. We'll get the hell out of there. 5-5 for Centaurus. Pocket pair 4-handed is pretty strong. Probably not going to 4-bet small, but a rip is potentially the play. No, we get a Queen 3-2 flop after Centaurus calls the 3-bet. Ace King misses, but has backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw, 2 overcards, bets 6.3, 6.4 into 17. Pretty good flop for 5-5, especially when you consider pads hasn't been 3-betting too much here. It's probably just going to be some pocket pairs that you're fucked by, and then some Ace King. I don't even know if Ace Queen's going to come in for a 3-bet here the way pads has been playing. Just looking to play post flop. Stack to pot ratio is 1-to-1 on the turn here. Pads does block the nut flush draw. There's a straight draw to the jack, and again 2 live cards with the Ace and King. Deep in the tank here. Do we ever bet like 9 blinds? That was our flop bet size, wasn't it? A 6. Tough spot on the turn here for pads. Check does make your hand pretty fucking face up, but it's tough to do just about anything else. You're all the way in the tank here. 30 blinds in the middle. Pads eventually does yoink it in. Centaurus does just find the fold. I thought after that long ass tank, Centaurus might think about a call with the 5s. It's kind of too difficult of a spot with 2 flush draws, 2 overcards out there. spot for fives to call, but pads takes down a nice pot. Now it's 60 blinds. Centaurus with Queen 2-0 facing the Efkinus limp. Queen 2-0 raises to 4 blinds. King 6-0 for Efkinus. Find a 3-bet, dude. A 3-bet is crazy. No, he just finds the fold. Can't really call there with the King 6, I don't think. King 6-0, not quite King 6 suited. Efkinus moves along. 10-9 suited for proud flop. Will open 4-handed from the cutoff. Ace 4 suited calls. Get a Queen Jack 4 flop. Proud flops open-ended. Backdoor flush draw. Efkinus bottom pair dominating the backdoor flush draw. Sees a 2-blind bet. Quickly, no, that wasn't quick. Eventually calls. We get a 9 on the turn. Proud flop makes pair status. Checks it on over. Proud flop actually loses a lot here. A lot of Queen X, Jack X. King 10 gets there. 10-8 gets there. I don't know if Efkinus is going to have 10-8 per se. 2 on the river. Proud flop says I still lose to a little bit of Jack X. It's a thin value bet if they find it. They just check it on over with a pair of 9s. Efkinus says I probably lose here. Checks it down. Excuse me. What does Ace 4 beat on the river there? Ace King or something like this? Ace 10? Not too much, dude. There was some low suited connected stuff that proud flop was opening, so maybe some of that shit too. Pair of 4s doesn't beat much. Maybe like a King 4. Anyways, they show down the pair of 4s, and we're moving on along. Centaurus with Queen 8 suited comes in for the open proud flop. 3 bets, 5-6 suited. You love to see it. They have 177 blinds. Efkinus 75 blinds. 10-10 in the big. You don't really want a cold call. Do you want a 4-bet, get it in, 4-handed, 75 blinds? 10-10, it's the muck. I wanted to see Efkinus pick up the chips, but a couple unfortunate folds here, and proud flop's playing great. Difficult day for Efkinus in the office. Oh, I still feel so bad about the 9s folding. It's a good fold. Fold it to the Queen 3-bet rip. Yeah, just would have fucking had all the chips bounty on top of it. Whatever. Efkinus 7-2 suited covering the players. Left in the hand here on the button. Gonna think about an open. Would take it down pre instead. Jack 2-0 will get a walk. Not easy to open up 7-2 suited. I would have let it go too. Jack 10 suited, however, we are in there. Ace 8 suited for pads in the small. Likes a call. Doesn't really want a 3-bet here. Jack 7-0 for proud flop in the big blind. We have 180 blinds, dude. I don't think we're going to 3-bet, but we could call probably. Proud flop says we'll just play smart. Reasonable fold there. 9-5-2 flop. 1 diamond for Efkinus. 3 in a row. Backdoor straight flush draw. Pads with Ace 8 still has the best of it, but not going to have an easy time hanging in there. They got some backdoor straight draws. Ace high is best. Efkinus bets huge though. 4.5 blinds. And if I'm pads, I just fold ace high. Just time to move along. Check raise is way too spicy with Ace 8 of spades here. 9-6 will fold the button. King 6 for proud flop. We'll see what they do from the small here. Big stacks like big raises. Proud flop says we'll keep the pot small with the limp. Force Efkinus to see a flop with the 10 and the 4. We get a King Queen Jack flop. Efkinus is open-ended top pair for proud flop. Get a 1.5 blind bet in the 2.5 blinds. Get a quick call. 3 on the turn. Efkinus says, fuck me, dude. Did we just bet again? We check and see a river. 4 of diamonds. Flush draw gets there. Straight draws brick. Proud flop says, I'll give you one more chance to fire a bluff here. Dude, I got top pair. What you gonna do? Proud flop snap calls no matter what the size is. Afghanist checks down the 10 high wisely after putting in the flop bet. Blinds go up. 150 blinds just about. Proud flop with ace 9 will open the button. Afghanist with king jack suited in the small blind. They do just play call very reasonably. Queen 6 suited for Centaurus in the big. We'll just find the fold. 10-4-2 flop. Ace 9 still best. Not too much doing for king jack. Gets a free turn. No help though. 8 of clubs. Free river. Deuce of spades. King jack says I actually beat nothing here. Queen high probably would have bluffed at some point. Anything worse than that would have bluffed at some point. He's just got ace high. Proud flop might think about a value bet versus king high. That'd be nasty, dude. It's not even a bluff. We can always just show it down. They thought about a value bet though. Maybe they're thinking, do I need to bluff ace high here? But then you're like, I'm not going to get a pair to fold. He's just going to show up with a lot of high hands. Anyways, proud flop with queen 9. Oh, we'll open it up. Pads with ace king suited in the big blind. Spicy situation. 45 blinds deep. Hopefully we 3-bet here. Pads goes in the tank. Interesting spot. Pads makes it 14 blinds. I was thinking, how fucking big do we go? Pad says huge jumbus. I guess we just want to 3-bet, get it in, of course. The way to maximize the possibility of that is just go so big where they can't call. They can only 4-bet, rip, or fold. Makes sense, actually. Like, I was thinking, do we go 10 blinds? But then you give your opponent the chance to call. You play a pot with like 24 in the middle or something like this. And you've got like 35 behind. That's spicy. You don't really want to do that. Even though you got ace king suited, of course. Kind of like the way Pads played that one. Just go huge. Anyways, we're moving on along. 10-4 suited, or 10-4, oh, sorry. Defended the big blind. Proud flop again with so many chips. Says, fuck you guys. Flops top pair. King 2 goes for a c-bet. Gets a quick call. 5 on the turn. Giving proud flop a straight. They lead out 2.5 blinds. Centaurus with king high. Has no play here. Has to fold. Ace 3 suited for Centaurus. We come on in for the open. 2.1 blinds. Pads with ace 7. I don't know if we play this one. Ace 7 hits the muck. Afghanis. 10-6 suited in the big blind. Afghanis calls. King 9, 7 flop. No hearts out there. It's not too much action going on. Afghanis with a straight draw to the 8. 10 or 6 are good. Centaurus C bets. We might just fold facing the flop bet. Super small though. We are getting a price. Maybe we call with that $7,500 bounty on the line. Although if we don't hit one of those 4 8s, we are gonna be fucked. Afghanis thinks about it for a while and does find the fold. Got a couple of 9s again. The cursed 9s. 10-10 also hit the muck facing a 6-5 suited 3-bet. Tough spot. Afghanis sees the proud flop open. Sometimes you just want to call here with 9s. Don't really want to 3-bet, get it in. 8-8-4 flop. Bottom pair for proud flop. They think they got the nuts here. They bet 3 blinds. Afghanis will happily call. You don't really want to check raise, get it in here. Spicy, dude. 9's call, king on the turn. Still the flush draw, obviously. 4x. Obviously, 9's lose to any 8 or king. The 4-4 boat. There's a few other pocket pairs. 10s through queens might slow down for a little bit. Where 4 might actually bet because it's got less showdown value. It needs to protect itself a little bit more. So 4x does go for a full pot size bet here. 9-9 is in a pickle, dude. 4x might bluff the river too. Hopefully Efkinus calls. You know his range so wide, you're just like, holy shit, am I getting cooler here? Efkinus call. I wanted to see them pick up chips. This is a great opportunity here. Obviously, Proud Flop has 2 outs. No more folding Efkinus, although I wouldn't blame them. Efkinus call. Efkinus calls. Good shit. King on the river. Good stuff. The 4 doesn't play. Obviously, King X and 8X make a boat. Don't bet Efkinus. Just check call. Proud Flop has no showdown value. They can't even check back the river. Although, to be fair, bluffing the river, what are you trying to get to fold? Your opponent calls the flop, calls the turn. Probably doesn't have too much King X if we're being honest. Like 8X. Not 4-4, you block that. The 4x shows it down. Efkinus doesn't have to worry about the river. Triple barrel there. Ooh, tough spot. Efkinus gets away with it. Although, yeah, like I was thinking, like, what is Proud Flop getting to fold even? Like, does 9s get out of there? Proud Flop might just say, I have to lose this pot here, as Jacks will 3-bet the wide open. 10-3 suited has to hit the muck. Maybe it's just a nice showdown by Proud Flop. Says, I'm not getting you to fold. Like, does Ace High call the river? Really depends on what your opponent thinks of you. And Proud Flop knows his range is wide. If you think you can get the bet through, you fire the barrel. If you think your opponent's going to call you, you check it down, I guess. I don't know, man. That's a spicy spot for Proud Flop, who's got 4 high here. Right, just 4 high, and the pair of 7s for pads hits the muck. That's no good. That's no good. Centaurus with King Queen. Open it on up. So Proud Flop with 137 blinds. Like, preserving 30 blinds in this situation is pretty important, so you really don't want to bluff on the river there if you think your opponent's going to call. You don't think you're going to get enough folds there. 6-6 sees a king high board here. There's a flush draw out there. Not any straight draws, though. King 8-3 flop. Centaurus bets super small. 1.4 blinds into 5.7. Proud Flop, no heart in their hand. Finds a call. Anywho, 3 on the turn. Centaurus here. King, Queen, top pair, fair kicker. Board does pair on the turn, but there's too many flush draws out there not to bet again. Just under pot, 8 into 8.5, and Centaurus takes it down. 3-3 for Proud Flop. Centaurus 7-6 suited in the big blind. Get a raise from the button and a call from the big, and we're off to the flop. Let's get a little 5-4-3. No, we get a 8. Or that's not an 8. Queen 2-2. My apologies. 5 blinds in the middle. Pair of 3s will bet 1.1. 7-6 suited has no reason to hang in there for anything. Beep, 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 beep. Ace Queen for pads in the big blind. Efkinus 10-9 on the button. We'll open it up. Jack 10 or Jack 9, sorry. Jack 9 suited, one of my favorite hands in the small. Can't do too much with it here. 3 bets. Can't do too much with it. Jack 9 suited, 3 bets to 8.12. Pads covering Centaurus in the big blind. 4-handed. Ace Queen is a monster. I think we 4-bet rip here. think it's just an all-in play. Hope for the best. There we go. Pads takes the spot. Centaurus just lets go of Jack 9 of hearts there. Pads at 55 blinds after the nice pot. Deuce deuce for Efkinus. We'll just let it go. 7-7 for Centaurus. We'll open it up. Ace 9 for pads in the small. I like a call, but we got proud flop in the big blind. Could deter pads from that play. Pad says no, we'll see a flop here. 4-3 comes along to the ace king king flop. Good news for pads. Not an easy play though. We got top pair on a paired board out of position. 3 ways. Deuce on the turn. Efkinus would have made a boat. Pads with top pair will lead out quite big. 4.6 into 6.8 and take the pot down. After a couple nice pots, pads at 60 blinds. Can't really play 10-6 right. No, we got to fold that on the button. 6-5 for proud flop in the small. We'll raise to 3.5. You love to see it. 8-9 suited in the big for Efkinus. Let's see a flop here, dealer. Queen 7-3. Oh, nope, just a gutter to the 4 for proud flop. My apologies. Gutter to the 4. Checks it on over. 8-9 with 3 in a row and backdoor straight draws, obviously. Checks it back. 6 on the turn. Got a pair of 6s versus the open ender now. 5 isn't too nasty as it put a one-liner to the 4 out there. Pair of 6s check anywho. 7.5 blinds in the middle. Efkinus probably prefers to have a heart in their hand, but this isn't a bad bet fold on the turn. Deuce on the river brings in 4 hearts. 4-5 obviously made a straight on the turn, but that don't matter too much. Pair of 6s check it on over. If we have any ability to check call on the river, that's a beautiful play. I wonder if we should try to... 7 would have bet the turn at least, or maybe the flop even. I just wonder what we do facing this small bet on the river here. 2.5 blinds, a third pot. We got a pair of 6s, no heart. Check down pot. Proud flop does just let her go. Nice little steal by Efkinus. I was wondering if we should bet the turn and just fold facing a check raise if it comes in. Obviously not by 6-5. I was wondering if we have to start telling the story on the turn to tell the story on the river. Efkinus says no, we'll just wait to the river, bet a third pot, take it down. Queen 2 limps it in. 5-4 offsuit. Checks it back for Centaurus. Ace 6-5 flop. Bottom pair in position. Centaurus will bet a blind, hoping to take the pot down, just clean up all their equity. Queen 2, backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. Could be good. There's a few like 7-8, 7-4 straight draws. Queen 2 wisely moves along. King 3 suited. Proud flop will open it on up from the cutoff. 5-4 over pads in the big. Pads gets out of there. Ace 9-0 for Efkinus. Efkinus opens the cutoff. Jack 9 for pads in the small. Probably not playing. Ace 5 for proud flop in the big blind. I'd love to see a 3-bet here. We wisely call. No need to blast off. I just wonder how much pressure we can put on Efkinus. Like a 3-bet might get ace 9-0 to fold. Anyways, we got a jack 6-8 flop. Efkinus, excuse me, checks back the flop queen on the turn. A little bit of showdown value for both players with ace high. Do we have any chop pots? Number of 6 or 8? Nope. So proud flop's looking for a 5, sees a turn bet for about 40%, and we'll just fold. 10-9 for pads on the button, we'll fold. Queen 10 will limp it in. Efkinus with king 7 in the big. Let me tell you, it's interesting to see proud flops play from the small blind so far. Mixing in some limps and some raises. Changing up the pace every once in a while. Like queen 10 makes sense to limp it in, and then like a hand like 6-5 makes sense to raise pre. Queen 10's got plenty of playability. Limp it in. Tough spot here though. We make a pair of queens, 3 of a kind for Efkinus. Beautifully checks back the flop. Let our opponent make a pair. King 2 flop goes check check. Queen on the turn. Proud flop with queen 10-0. Bets 1.5 into 2.5. No real reason to raise here, right? No flush draws out there. We just call. Ace on the river. Stupid card if we're being honest. Very few ace-x bets the turn in proud flop shoes. Proud flop will check over the pair of queens. Jack 10 makes a straight. And again, there's no like missed flush draws. I wonder if proud flop can just read right into the situation and fold facing a river bet. It's so small, maybe we call. 2.2 into what is a 7.7 blind pot. Nice fold by proud flop. That's only 2.2 blinds, but you know that's how you make the big bucks in the long run. You just don't pay off the bet on this stupid river card, where you just know you're never good with the pair of queens. Like man, I'm getting really excited over a 2 blind bet fold, but well, I guess it's a check fold, but it's a 2 blind bet that he folded to, you know. But it's beautiful poker there. Queen 10, no good ever. Great play by proud flop. Running great, playing great, the unbeatable combination. However, king 10 comes in for an open 10-7 suited defends the big blind. We get a 9-5-4 flop, 2 hearts for pads. As that flush draw, backdoor straight draw, bangs off a heart on the turn. Checks it on over again, making the flush. Nicely done, proud flop. 0% here. Might check back the turn. 9 on the river, double paired board, stupid spot. Pads will bet 4.5 with the flush. Proud flop raises the river. That's magical poker, dude. King high, no showdown value. Do we ever check back the flop with a 9? Maybe not. A 5? Maybe so. Do we ever check back the turn with a 5? Maybe so. Unlikely, but maybe so. So we'll show up here with some 5x. Hard to imagine we have 9s. Unless it's a 9-9 specifically. 4-4. Now we would bet at some point. King 10 does just hit the muck. No value for pads' flush there. Tough to get called. 7-4 suited, pads in the small, playing 60 blinds deep. Proud flop with ace jack suited. We might see a limp raise fold. And we're moving along. Do. 3.5 blinds is the size. 2.5 to call into 5. 7-4 suited. Out of position. Pads does find the call. Queen 9-8 flop all spades. Tough to see pads winning this one, but proud flop could check it back, I suppose, giving pads a chance to bluff the turn. 6 of hearts. Is that an open ender to the 5 or 10? The 10 is no good, obviously, as proud flop has that same straight draw. However, pads will check over the 7 high, no showdown value. Let's not see a 10 on the river. Jack of spades. So there's 4 spades out there. Proud flop makes pairs. And I don't know if there's any bets that go in here. 7 high obviously is no showdown value. Pads could go for a bluff ski. They bet 1.4. Snap call by a pair of jacks. Block bet did not work there. Non-believers proud flop says I'm not going to get bluffed off again. King 6 limping it in. Efkinus in the big with a 4 and a 4. Checking it back and a jack 7-5 flop. King 6 with backdoor straight draw. 2 live cards with the king and 6. Checks it on over. Deuce on the turn. I'm wondering what we do on the flop basing a bet there. King 6 checks the deuce turn. Jack on the river. King 6. Do we have showdown value? There's some queen X maybe that we beat. Anyways, 4s look to be good for the pot. Top pair, pairs on the river. 4-4 might bet a blind or two here. Be a nice value bet by 4s. 1 blind is the size. There's always the risk we get blown off the pot with a raise. However, we just get value this time by a king high. Nice little bet by Efkinus. That's also some beautiful poker. When you see a 1 blind bet on the river and you get called. By worse, obviously. Jack 6 will raise it up to 3 blinds. Centaurus in the big with an ace and a 9. 25 blinds in total. I don't know if you want to rip here. Centaurus says, yeah, just rip, dude. Just rip and take it down. 25 blinds, ace 9. I felt like maybe we wanted to call and see a flop, even though we knew our hand is likely to be best. Got a little action brewing here. 8-9 suited. Proud flop will open. Ace queen just calls the button. Efkinus suited and booted, keeping pads and Centaurus in the pot if they want to hang in there. Pads with Jack 6 suited says, let's see a flop, dude. 10-9-9 action, jacktion. 3 of a kind for proud flop. Flush draw for pads. 2 overs, backdoor flush draw for Efkinus with the backdoor straight draw in there too. They see a small bet here. Ace queen could even be good. A little less likely with 3 players in the hand. Efkinus does wisely get out of there. Pads obviously here. Facing the small bet. Could think raise. Hopefully just calls. In a spot where we really don't want to blow up our stack. We do have a lot of 9x that we want to raise. Pads get spicy. 7.5 blinds. Just about 3x the raise. Proud flop obviously with 3 of a kind. Not going nowhere here. Just how do we play it? We call 10 on the turn. So pads, doesn't even matter if they make a flush. They're drawing to a 10 for a chop pot. Bottom boat for proud flop. We check. Pads makes flush on the river. Does pads block bet get raised and fold? Seven blinds is the size, so about a third pot. So a little bit more than your standard block bet, but facing a raise, we are out of there, right? If we get called, we're hoping like a worse flush. Proud flop here. We'll rip it all in for 100. No, obviously not. It was like 38 behind. Proud flop takes down the pot. Back up to about 150 blinds. Pads. King 8-0 gonna limp it on in here. Queen 5 will check it back. Ace 2 flop. Not much doing here at all. Nobody improves. Nobody picks up any equity. 9 on the turn. Free Jack on the river goes check checking. King high takes down a 2 blind pot. Excuse me. King 9 suited. Centaurus takes a while but finds the open. Ace 5 for proud flop in the small. Not suited. Thinking 3 bet finds it just under 7 blinds. Efkinus in another weird spot. Ace Jack suited. A 4 bet is crazy, yo. Ace Jack suited hits the muck. A couple of tough spots for Efkinus. Like the 10-10. I wish I remembered how deep it was. Fuck, man. Feels like you gotta get after it here with proud flop just blasting away. Ace 5 sees a king 8-8 flop. Backdoor nut flush draw and an overcard for proud flop. They'll think about a bet on a good board for them. Obviously Centaurus with top pair hangs in there for a bet. Very small sizing, 3.33 into 15. Does size up a turn jam. Does Centaurus just protect all their equity by ripping it in here? Probably not, right? Isn't this just a call? Centaurus says, rip it in again. Just like with the ace 9. Top pair just takes the spot, rips it in, protects all their equity. Says, I don't want to get too spicy Facing turn action there. 10-6-0. Proud flop will fold the button. We got 10-9 for Efkinus in the small and an ace-10 suited for Centaurus in the big. 10-9 will raise to 3.5 blinds. Another weird spot for Centaurus. I just call. Centaurus might raise it up here. This is a strong 3-betting hand. Maybe we make it non-all-in. Centaurus says, no, let's just go post-flop with the strong hand. King 7-4 flop. Not what we're looking for with ace-10 of hearts. There's a heart out. Yeah, there's a heart out there. Backdoor straight draw. Probably have to call a flop bet. Got that over card, and we're obviously dominating our opponent in this instance. Queen on the turn. We both pick up a straight draw to the jack. Oh, how nasty a jack would be. It might just go check on the turn. And a free jack on the river. Or does Efkinus go bombs away and Centaurus folds? The best of it. Just under 8 blinds into 12. Very hard to call here just with a straight draw. You got 3 clean outs. Ace high. There was some jack 10. Obviously 10-9. Oh. It's a spade. That don't matter. Second, I guess not nut, but second best straight versus best straight. This is just an all-in and a snap call. Nasty jack on the river by Efkinus. I like the play. I thought the turn bet was going to get through. Obviously, Centaurus calls here. 66 blind slide their way. Oof. Efkinus runs the worst, dude. Jack 10 suited will open it up. Pads with 4-4 in the big. Hopefully they don't 3-bet rip. I'm scared for him. Jack 10 suited. 33 blinds. Might just get spicy and flicking a call. No way. 4-4 just calls and we see a king jack 6 flop. No way proud flop just calls there. It's only a $3,500 bounty. Anyway, jack 10 flops pair status. Backdoor royal flush draw. Bets 1.3. Takes the pot down. Man. I wish Efkinus was a little worse and they played the 9s. Somehow made a boat there and took down the bounty and picked up a big stack. And like thinking back to the queen's rip, 9s call, 8s would just fold, so there would never be a boat versus boat situation. But anyways, we're moving along and Efkinus has 26 blinds. Ace 10 makes 2 pairs on the turn here. Is there a check back on the flop? Proud flop picks up straight draw to the king, bets 3.9, blocking the flush draw to boot. Makes plenty of sense here. Centaurus. If we just call? Man, there's so many draws out there. I feel like we have to raise, but then you're just going to get them to fold. So it feels like you have to call, but river's going to be nasty. Centaurus says raise to 23 blinds. So it seems like whenever there's a spot where Centaurus says, do I want to raise or call? Centaurus says raise every time. Ace 3 over pads. Do we let it go? Do we open it up? We find the fold. King jack suited. Proud flop in the small blind. They will raise 2.2 blinds. Efkinus with 7-5 suited in the big. Efkinus finds the call. Ace jack 3 flop. Metal pair of jacks again for proud flop. Hey, check it on over. Efkinus checks it on back. And a 3 on the turn. No equity at all here for Efkinus. No draw. 7 high versus a pair of jacks. 5 blinds in the middle. Do we fire a bluff? Flush completes on the turn. Bottom pair turns into 3 of a kind. We just go to the river for free. Deuce of diamonds. Pair of jacks checks. Efkinus might go for the bluff on the river here. Blocking the straight 5-4. No, we showdown 7 high. Boring ass pot. Proud flop takes it down. Ace high versus ace high in the blinds. 24 blinds deep. Efkinus limps it in. Hard to imagine we get this in pre, but Centaurus could raise small. Centaurus just says, rip it in, dude. Rip it in, and take it down pre. And we got a little break to skip through. King 9 suited coming back from break. Afghanis. Oh, we're just going to let that go. 23 blinds. Fold the cutoff there. King 9 suited. Centaurus with 10-9 suited. We'll raise the button. Wait, what happened there? Oh, did a proud flop open? My apologies. 10-9 suited calls the small. Afghanis folds the button facing the open. That makes some more sense. My apologies. 10-9 suited's got the straight draw and flush draw going on here. Bet on the turn quite large and get ace 10 off the pot. King 6-0 for pads. Stupid spot here. Limps it on in. 9-3 suited for proud flop. We'll just check it on back. Queen 4-4 flop. Proud flop, we'll just check. 4 on the turn. King 6 bets 1 blind. It takes the pot down. 7-6 for proud flop in the small. Lamping it in. 2 and a 3. Forced to see a flop. Ace King 6 flop. Boppity bop bop bop. Bottom pair, we'll check it on over. We do have a backdoor straight flush draw for Afghanis. Jack of spades on the turn. Sweet fuck all for him. 3 high. Pair of sixes. Bets 1.2. Half pot. Interesting bet here. Do we get called by straight draws? Flush draw, potentially. I don't know there. 7-6 goes for a little bet ski. Interesting one there by proud flop. Just cleans up equity. I don't know, man. First like queen high. Anyways, proud flop moves on along. Opens up the 10-5 suited on the button. Gets an ace 3-2 flop. Bets the straight draw, backdoor flush draw. King 3 for Centaurus. Will defend the big blind with a call. Making the pair of threes. Get a 6 of diamonds on the turn. Straight draw gets longer, which never matters, but we do bang it off on the river as the backdoor flush draw gets there. 1 liner to a 5, diamonds complete. Centaurus with King 3 of clubs. 7 blinds in the middle. Hard to imagine we ever win with King 3. There's like Jack 10, like that sort of bullshit. Just middling cards that open it up. Proud flop here with 10-5 could easily have 10-7. Anyways, nice fold by the pair of threes on the river. Didn't get too curious. Proud flop with the maiden hand. Takes the pot down. Ace 2 of hearts. Proud flop right back in there. Ace 5-0 for Centaurus in the small. Might look for a better spot. We don't want to get too spicy here. 73 blinds deep. But, ugh, fuck me, man. Centaurus says, if there's a spot, dude, I'm going to take it. How don't you know that already? Ace 5-0, 4-handed from the small. We 3-bet to 8.5. Proud flop with a 4-betting hand. Ace 2 suited. Really don't want to call, really? We call. Okay, so I'm so lost apparently. Queen 9-4 flop, 1 heart. Proud flop. Backdoor straight flush draw. Obviously Centaurus blocks that with the 5 of hearts in their holding. They check it on over. What that ace high. 18.5 blinds in the middle. 65 behind. 5 blind bet by proud flop will just get the job done. Spicy play by Centaurus got himself in a little trouble, and proud flop took advantage of it with a small bet on the flop. Queen jack suited, limps it on in, picks up a flush draw, overbets the pot, and gets king high off of it. Interesting play by pads, taking the pot down. Ace jack, Centaurus will open it up. 8-5, Afghanis in the big blind, not gonna play. 9-4 suited for proud flop. They'll open the button. King jack, Centaurus in the big. Get a call from the big and a 10-9-8 flop. Centaurus 2 overs. Back, or open end straight draw. Queen or 7 and a backdoor heart draw. 9-4 middle pair bets 1.1, gets a quick call. 6 on the turn, puts a 1-liner to a 7 on the board with 2 flush draws. Centaurus blocks both those flush draws. Pair of 9s here. It's interesting. I don't know what's going to happen here. 7 blinds in the middle. Turn goes check, check. 2 pairs for proud flop with the 4 on the river. Both flush draws brick. Centaurus obviously blocking queen jack the nuts. If we bluff, the question is how big do we bluff? It's about 5 3/4. Quickly gets called by the 2 pairs, and proud flop takes down another pot. Certainly running the show here today. 131 blinds, even a little bit more than that. Opens up the queen 3 suited, takes the pot down pretty. Jack 7 for Centaurus. We'll see if they open the button here. Kind of intimidating. Proud flop in the big blind. 6-2 for pads. Personally, I just fold. Pat says, yeah, just get rid of the shit holding. That was an easy call. Ace 8 on the button. Cover Efkinus in the big. We got proud flop in the small, obviously, with a pocket pair of 4s. Could just 3-bet rip it in here for about 30 blinds. Would not be surprised to see that play. Pads has folded quite a few buttons here. I think we just still see the rip from the small. Yeah. Put pads in a pickle. Won't find the call for about 30 blinds. Nice play by proud flop. 10-10, however. Ace king for Centaurus with an ace and king dead. 10's open. Ace king 3-bet rips, I do believe. 26 blinds. We could 3-bet small, I guess. 10's 4-bet rip. Centaurus probably just rips. Ace king all in. Excuse me. 10's will call. No way 10's fold here. 10's call. Looking for aces and kings. A 2 works. Ace on the turn. Nasty card. With aces and kings dead. Pads is out of here in 4th place. Centaurus gets about a $3,500 bounty. Picks up a nice pot as they have 83 blinds now. Limping in the king 10. Just under 84 blind stack there for Centaurus. 9-4 suited, checks it on back, finds a pair of 4s on the 7-4-3 flop. Flop quickly goes check, check, deuce on the turn. 2 flush draws. Again, Centaurus blocks both those. King high could be best. Proud flop bets 1 blind with the pair of 4s. King high calls. 6 of diamonds on the river goes check, check. Flush completes 1-liner to a 5. And a pair of 4s is best. 9-7 suited will rip it in for about 17 blinds. Take the pot down. Brave for proud flop. Ace king for Centaurus in the big blind. And proud flop opening up king 8-0. Queen 4 for Efkinus. We'll get the hell out of there. Ace king for Centaurus. Stupid spot here. We want a 3-bet, obviously. Ace king 3-handed, stupid strong. Centaurus says just take it post flop though. So I'm just off about whatever Centaurus is going to do. Whenever I think they're going to take the passive action and call, they 3-bet or rip it in or whatever. Whenever I think they're going to 3-bet, they take the call line. So we got a 10-5-4 flop. Looks like a bet went in at some point. 4 on the turn. 7 on the river. Completes the flush. King 8 high. No good for proud flop. Blocks 8-6. Hard for ace king to call a river bet, but we did slow play pre-flop, so maybe we just stick in a call. 5.5. Hopefully Centaurus finds it, dude. Otherwise, proud flop's just getting away with murder. Do it. Oh, just call, dude. Just flicking a call. See what happens. There we go. Centaurus takes down about a 20 blind pot. Takes it off the big stack. Starting to even up those 2 stacks. 90 blind Centaurus. 133 for proud flop. Efkinus with about 15. Queen 2 suited in the big blind. Might face another rip from Jack 9-0. That it does, and we have to fold again. Bad news. Ace 5 for Efkinus. Might get tempted to rip it in here for about 14 blinds. I don't know if we have fold equity. Our opponent has Queen Jack. They got plenty of equity for a call here for about a 7k bounty. Wouldn't be surprised to see a rip. Got a great hand here. Ace 5 hits the muck though. Queen 6 suited folds the button. Off 13 blinds. Can't do much for Efkinus, who's got ace 9 versus 5-5. Easy, get it in pre. We're looking for aces and 9s. A jack work, some diamonds. Dealer a king. A 10 on the river. What? 10 of clubs. That's no straight. That's no help. That's no double paired board. Ace high is dead. Efkinus out in 3rd place. Broad flop gets another bounty. Centaurus with queen, 189 blinds deep. Proud flop will open up 9-6 on the button, heads up. Woo-wee-wee-wah. Centaurus will 3-bet to 10 blinds. Interesting sizing. We'll just take note of it going forward. 3-bet got through pre, obviously. 8-7 opens the button. Queen 5 calls the big, flops top pair. Straight draw to the 10. We'll check it on back. Pick up a little bit more equity with the straight draw to the 5. Proud flop with the toppest of pairs. Bets about 3/4. 2 flush draws out there. Centaurus calls. Shows up with 8 high on the river. Proud flop with the toppest of pairs. 11 blinds in the middle. Check bet call would be cool. Proud flop might just value bet though. That they do 13 blinds into 11, trying to get called by Jack X, 9X, maybe even a curious ass 6. Anyways, 8-7 making a pair in position. King 6 suited. Centaurus, not too much going on here. Backdoor flush draw. King high could be best. Get a free turn. 4 on the turn. 4 diamonds. Centaurus does have that backdoor straight draw they picked up, looking for a king or 5. I bet about 2 blinds, a little bit less than 40%. Right around 40%. Proud flop with the pair of 7s and the flush draw even. Finds the call, 10 on the river. It's like an 8-9 makes a straight. Don't know if Centaurus wants to continue to bluff here with king 6 of spades. He says, fuck it, let's do it, dude. 7 more blinds to call. How about that? Proud flop with that pair and flush blocker. Check back the flop. Nice call on the river. 22, 23 blinds will slide their way. Ace 8 for Centaurus. Opens it up. 6-4 calls the big. Checks back the, checks on the king 5-4 flop. Centaurus checks it back. 6 on the turn. 2 pairs leads out again, up for about 75% here. Ace 8 with the straight draw to the 7. Finds the call. 5 on the river. Double paired board. Flush draw completes. Counterfeits the 2 pairs for 6-4. Any king wins. Proud flop loses to a bunch of 6x. Centaurus with a sliver of showdown value will just hit the check button. Proud flop takes another one, 170 blinds to about 70. King 4-0 opens it up. Ace 5 calls. We get a 9-6-2 flop. Deuce on the turn. There we go. Flop goes check, check, by the way. 9-6-2. Check, check. Deuce on the turn. Centaurus with the ace high versus king high. Thinking about a value bet. Do it, dude. No, they just check it on over. I don't know if king 4 is a great reason to bet here. No, we just check 7 on the river. River goes check, check. And ace high takes down the single raise pot. Jack 5. Centaurus will open the button. 9-3 suited. Proud flop will defend the big, I do imagine, with a call. 3 bets are crazy, dude. 3 bet comes in though. 9 blinds to go. Remember when Internet 930 was in the game and they had 930 in the small and they just limp folded? That was silly. 9-3 suited here goes for a big ass 3 bet, takes the pot down. Queen Jack suited. Proud flop will open the button. 9-9 in the big blind will 3 bet. right? I think Queen Jack just calls a 3-bet. See what size it is here. Centaurus says 9 blinds to go. Queen Jack suited doesn't know this, but it's actually going to have a much easier time navigating post-flop in position. Queen Jack calls, flops 3 of a kind. Jack Jack 2 flop. Pretty good board for 9-9 if we're being honest. Pretty good board. Broad flop says, hey, that's a pretty good board, dude. 3 of a kind, no problem. 4.5 blinds into 18. Centaurus is in some real trouble as we get a clean 5 of hearts on the turn. No flush draw. Obviously, Centaurus loses to any Jack X. The only other hand I really see being in there for a call pre-flop, like does 10s even call pre? If I'm Centaurus, I think I just got a monster here. I think we see all the smaller pocket pairs, so I'm kind of worried about 5s or 2s maybe. And then obviously there's a few Jack X, like Queen Jack suited, like King Jack suited. Does that ever 4-bet pre? Interesting game here. Queen Jack finds a call, 10 of hearts on the river. Centaurus might check call. I think the game's over, dude. Does Centaurus rip for value, try to get called by 8, 7, 6s? That's what I'm kind of thinking. There we go. Jack's call. Game is over. Proud flop does get the job done. Ran fucking hot. Makes 3 of a kind here versus the pocket pair. Scoops about, what is that number? Holy shit. Is that 120 grand? We bring that 2 over. It's an 80 now. And plus 40. That's 120 grand. Great job by Proud flop. Ran hot. And obviously it was the 10-9 suited call here. I don't know how I skipped right to it. Ace Queen. This is pretty much where the round started. 10-9 suited for Centaurus. And like if Proud flop just rips and takes the pot down pre, that's only 26 blinds. Doesn't really improve their situation. Flops top pair, holds on up. 45 blinds, they move on. Wasn't there a cooler that they ran into where they lost some chips? No, maybe they just won chips. Kings versus Ace King. That's where it was. Proud flop gets a cooler in their favor. They take down all the chips there. But anyways, I suppose that's the end of the show. Proud flop GG. It was fun to see the stacked final table. Got to see Efkinus get after it, who had a pretty shit run there, if we're being honest. I thought things were frozen there. What's going on here? Oh, I paused the video. There we go. Things are working again. Anyways, that is the end of the show. So if you made it all the way through, thanks for checking this bullshit out. If you got any comments or suggestions on improving the show, fire them down in the comments below. And until next time, adios amigos.